Hey guys, in today's video, I wanted to tell you all 3 of what I think are the most underrated weapons in Fortnite Battle Royale so that you guys can try these weapons out, hopefully have some fun with different weapons, and maybe even find something that is more effective than what you're currently using. If you do find this video entertaining or informative, please do remember to give it a like rating, subscribe if you would like to see more. My Twitch will be linked down in the description below. I live stream on there every single day, so make sure you follow me on there if you want to watch my streams. So just get right into the content of this video. I think the minigun is actually one of the most underrated, if not the most underrated weapon in the game currently. It's kind of perceived as a joke or a meme, like just a troll, but it is really, really good. A while ago, it was actually buffed to where it has a much faster like spin up period. There's less time where you have to hold the trigger before bullets start actually coming out. But it does overheat, but this is a decent trade-off. You're more effective, but you can't just sit out there and spray forever. You probably don't want to sit out there and spray forever anyway, so I see this as pretty much only a buff. The minigun is also surprisingly accurate. I was very surprised when I started using this weapon a lot, how accurate it was. And I actually started using this weapon because of the robots, because I thought it was a very good weapon to use to fight the mech, because it burns the mech down really quickly. And then also, once the players jump out, you're already shooting like bullets into them, and you can often like get one weak or down one and have the explosion of the robot finish the players. So that's why I started using the minigun, and I quickly found out how effective this weapon actually is. Like I said, it's surprisingly accurate. You can use it somewhat decently at medium range. I mostly play solos, so you don't see me use this weapon that much because I don't think it's that great of a solo weapon. But in team game modes like duos or squads or even trios, it's really, really good at applying pressure and supporting your teammates. If your teammates play a bit more aggressive than you do, or they just happen to be fighting the person, you could switch to this minigun and put a lot of fire on that opponent. Whether or not you get shots in, you're going to be taking a lot of the attention away from that player. So your teammate might have an easier time getting high ground or getting the person's wall and then getting their shotgun shot on the opponent and eventually killing them. Like I said, this weapon isn't necessarily the best weapon for killing things, although it does that very, very, very well. It's a really, really good supportive weapon because it puts so much pressure on the person that you're shooting, and they pretty much have to decide between dying to you or dying to your teammate, and that's a pretty good situation to put the enemy players in. It's also really, really good at breaking builds, and since redeploy was vaulted in Season 10, if you have opponents that have built up and they aren't supported by that much, like let's say they're only supported by a ramp and a floor, and like let's say that twice, like somebody was build fighting, there's 2 walls and 2 ramps connecting these builds, you can cut through that very quickly, especially if it's made out of wood, faster than any other weapon, I think. Aside from like an explosive, the minigun will cut that down really quickly because it doesn't have to reload, and it puts out bullets so quickly anyways. So I would definitely recommend trying the minigun, especially if you're someone who plays duos and squads, and if you find yourself in situations where your teammates are more aggressive than you, the minigun might be one of the best weapons in the game for you, and it's going to make everybody on your team's job a lot easier, and it's going to result in a lot of wins for you. Even in the World Cup, you saw the duos players, Aqua and Nyrox, they ended up winning the duos World Cup. They were actually using the minigun quite a bit in one of the games they won. So it's not just a public match weapon. Even in competitive, the minigun can be a really, really effective weapon. The next weapon I want to talk about is a revolver. This was re-added during Season 9, and many people know that like the gold or the purple one is good and that it shoots faster, but even the white, green, and the blue revolver was reworked to where it shoots faster now once it was re-released. I see a lot of people using this gun and they shoot it really slowly, and even myself, once I started using this gun, I didn't shoot it as fast as you can shoot it because I just didn't know that it shot faster. So try this out, get a revolver in game and just spam RT as fast as you can, and you might be surprised how fast this gun actually shoots. Depending on the rarity of this weapon, it will do 50 to 60 body damage and 100 to 120 headshot damage. So the revolver bodies for basically the same amount of damage as an assault rifle headshot. And those are body shots, and you can put them out pretty quickly. And if you are playing against people who don't necessarily build properly, or if you have high ground on them and a good angle, you can chip shots into these players so quickly. And whether or not you're hitting headshots, you can eliminate the players really, really quickly. One thing I feel like holds this weapon back is the range on it. That's why you don't see me using it as much in solos, is I really value that range of the ARs in solos, but if you're fighting more like close to medium range, I feel like the revolver is actually much better than an AR. You hit a headshot, that's 120 damage right there. Body shots 50, 60. Like, it's really not that hard to hit a body shot, and it chunks down for so much. Especially if you're in a build fight, you have very small windows of time to hit a shot. The revolver can put in a lot of damage in that time. And you don't really have to worry about bloom with the revolver as much, since it isn't a spray weapon, and the fire rate like naturally works well with like timing your peaks or crouch peeking. You're going to be safe a lot of times. Like, you might want to shoot a shot, like crouch up, like shoot a shot and then crouch back down, you know, or like right shoulder peek something. You're not going to be as exposed for long periods of time because it doesn't constantly output damage. Whereas with an AR, you have to peek the entire time because you don't really just shoot it one at a time unless it's really long range, if you know what I mean. You're oftentimes spraying or at least bursting, and you're exposed for a good amount of time. Whereas a revolver, you can shoot one shot, reposition just naturally with how the fire rate of the weapon works. That works really well. And it's really, really accurate for the fire rate that it has. It's really easy to hit body shots pretty consistently. And if you're a controller player, ADS spamming or abusing aim assist is really, really good with the revolver. You've probably seen it in the background gameplay on this video. The ADS spamming with the revolver is absurdly powerful. And if you time that well with like how you play the game, you're going to be really, really effective and really difficult for opponents to deal with. The final weapon I want to talk about in this video is the tactical shotgun, and this might seem like a surprise. A lot of people hate the tac shotgun, and I am by no means saying it's like the best weapon in the game, or even that it's really an amazing weapon, but I feel like a lot of people think it's trash, and it's not that bad anymore. In Season 9, they did buff it, and a lot of people didn't really pay attention to that buff because it was the same update where they unvaulted the pump. So people were complaining about having to use the tac. Epic unvaulted the pump and buffed the tac, but people just gravitated towards the pump for the combat anyways, so people didn't use the tac as much since it's been buffed. And with the addition of the legendary and epic pumps, it's a really, really solid weapon. I oftentimes will take it over a pump. I don't necessarily think that it's better than a pump, but I'm just more consistent with the tac shotgun than I am the pump. And depending on team modes, there's times where like the tac, it could be good to be good with the tac. Like, for example, someone that I play duos with a lot is really good with the pump, and I'm not that great with the pump, but I'm decent with it, and I'm okay with the tac as well. So I'll often take the tac and give them a pump just so we both have a weapon that we're more comfortable with. So I think it's worth getting good with the tac. I think it's worth trying out again. A lot of people see this weapon as just garbage and trash, and it's really not that garbage anymore. It's actually quite consistent, and if you get good with this weapon, there will be some fights where you prefer it. For me, I think the pump shotgun is the best shotgun in the game, but I prefer the combat. Like, it just suits my playstyle better, and the tac is up there too. I would say it's not necessarily better than the pump or the combat, but it's definitely closer to them than it was in the past. Like, a lot of people think it's like a 2 out of 10 weapon, and in reality, it's more like a 6 or a 7, and that headshot multiplier buff that they gave it in Season 9 goes a long way in making it a more effective weapon in game. So definitely try out the tac shotgun again. Let me know what you think of it. Like I said, I don't think it's the best shotgun, but I think it's better than what a lot of people think. So that's why I would say it's underrated. A lot of people haven't really tried it out or given it a fair chance since they have such like a preconceived notion of it being a garbage shotgun. And I used to really hate this shotgun back in the day. So that is going to be it for this video. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Do you like these weapons? Do you not use them as much and you're going to try them out? Let me know. If there's a weapon that you think is really underrated that I did not get to in this video, comment that down below. And thanks for watching. Remember to like the video, subscribe, use creator code evolve-jake, and I'll see you guys another time.